All right. AI is slowly becoming my best friend. Nobody tell Sarah Connor, please.
Yeah, she's judging you now.
Essentially what I've done here is I have 1, 2, 3, I think it's six different TV shows that debuted in 1995. I had AI write up a brief summary of each of the shows written as a 6-line poem. I'm going to read the poem to Frank. Frank is going to have to guess which television show it is that we are talking about. Again, these all debuted in 1995. Are you ready?
Yep.
Can you name this television show that debuted in 1995 based on this AI poem? In Cleveland's heart, where laughter reigns, a man with glasses and sarcastic gains. Buzz beer brews in a backyard dream, while Mimi's insults cut like a beam. His quirky crew and chaos thrive. Through office woes, they laugh and survive.
Cleveland.
We got to get you a new mic. It's cutting it off, man. But
it doesn't like my voice.
But it is
Drew Carey Show. That was a great show until the end when they sent it to the WB and just completely crapped on that.
Yeah, it got kind of weird at the end.
Well, they were doing when they sent it to the WB, they were doing it out of order. So you would watch one episode, and then they would do another episode right after that, but it would be one that was supposed to be 3 weeks later. And then the next week you come in, and they even admitted they were just throwing it up there just so that they could get off their board.
Yeah. Oh, I totally forgot.
I got
that. Got the pictures there for you, my man.
That was a great series, especially when it first came out.
So the first episode aired on September 13th, 1995. It ended up running for 9 seasons, 233 episodes, and it wrapped up September 8th, 2004.
I think I just saw that Diedrich Bader turned 60 recently.
I could see that. I've actually gotten to meet Ryan Stiles. He was cool as hell, man.
He seems like he would be. He doesn't take things too seriously.
All right. Next up. Can you guess this TV show that debuted in 1995 based on the summary written by AI as a poem, or poem, if you will?
Poem.
A warrior strides through lands untamed, her past a shadow, her name reclaimed. With a spinning disc and cries of might, she battles gods through day and night. Her loyal friend keeps hope alive. Through mythic trials, together they strive.
I figured that one out in the first Xena.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, have you rewatched that show now?
I never watched it in the first place.
Oh, okay. Then you missed that. When Hercules came out the year before, and then they brought Xena, that seemed like it was one of the greatest things ever. But when you watch when you watch it now, since I think it's on I don't think it's on Paramount. I think it's on Peacock. Mm-hmm. I watched it a couple years ago, and 3 episodes in, I sat there and went holy crap! I'm so glad I was 14 when this came out, because it's
terrible,
stupid. It is so bad.
So it debuted September 4th, 1995. It lasted 6 seasons, 135 episodes, and it wrapped up on June 18th, 2001.
And she was one of those she played a different character in I think one of the episodes of Hercules. They brought her back as Xena, as just a one-off, kind of like Urkel, but then it just spawned into basically another series for her, which is pretty wild.
Yeah. Lego Star Wars stop motion in the YouTube chat. Hello, how are you? Don't forget to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Clink, clink, clink.
Yellow.
All right, Frank, you ready for the next one?
Uh-huh.
You ready for the next one?
Uh-huh.
All right, this one is a little bit hard. That's what she said. But can you guess this television show that debuted in 1995 based on the poem written by AI? In a high-rise hub of chaos and quips, the newsroom buzzes with wild scripts. Egos clash, but wit prevails through breaking news and comedic tales. Their antics rise, their madness soars. In laughter's echo, the humor roars.
That would be news radio.
Yay! Easily one of my favorite shows of all time. I've gone back and I've been watching it again. It debuted March 21st, 1995. It ran for 5 seasons, 97 episodes, finally wrapping up on May 4th, 1999. I remember watching the first few, but then when Phil Hartman passed away, They brought in John Lovitz, and it was still okay, but it just the storylines got really sloppy at the end. It just but those first few seasons were just brilliant. And then I remember when I was living in Florida in my office, I had DirecTV hooked up. And one day as I'm sitting there working, I'm just kind of flipping through the channels, and I can't remember what the channel was, but they were syndicating news radio. And so I got back into it. And I was like, oh my God. And again, if you want to, on YouTube, there's all these channels that are just uploading. Now, like I said, there were 97 total episodes of the show. I think they're just uploading the same 12. It's really
Probably.
all it is.
Probably. Plus, it was Joe Rogan with hair.
Yeah. And earrings.
I think he said, I think I saw him talk about that, saying like the crew and the cast took Hartman's death so hard. It just took like the element out of, like, he was such a big part of that show. Like, they just lost like kind of.
Well, and they kind of blamed Andy Dick for it.
Yeah, because he was going through his stuff too, but
he's the one that gave drugs to Hartman's wife.
Yeah.
That essentially kind of spun her out of control. At least that's, the story of what it was that happened. But again, there's a few memories from this show that just stick with me. There's one where Jimmy James, the owner, who is Stephen Root, we need to do a whole video on just him. I love that guy. If I ever got to meet him, I might wet my pants. What's that?
Yeah. I said he does so many voiceovers on so many things. It's pretty wild.
Oh, he was in Barry. Yeah. He was Fuchs. Like, he's awesome. But so he's in this competition with like other billionaires, and it's a talent show. They're trying to figure out who's got the best talent. So Phil Hartman walks in with him, and he's like, so what are we looking at? And Bill McNeil, who's played by Phil Hartman, he goes, well, there's Joe. He hits things. And because Joe said that his whole talent was he could punch something as hard as he can and not hurt his hand. And so he goes, wham! And he punches a phone book on the table. And I don't know why, man, but that one is just freaking hilarious.
My favorite scene with him from that show was when, I can't remember if it's another executive or a woman who owns a radio station, and they decide that they're going to figure out if they should get married or not. They're like working a deal. Like, how many kids?
Yep.
3? I say 2.
Yeah.
Where are they vacation? Yeah. And then they couldn't agree on something. He's like, they couldn't agree on something. He goes, well, we gave it the old try. And they shook hands.
Yeah, they shake hands and walk away. Oh, I freaking love that scene too, man. God, it was such a good, it was well written. The acting was great. And you could just tell that the cast got along. It was such a good show. Go check out News Radio. But we got a few more here, Frank. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's roll back up here. All right. Can you guess this television show that debuted in 1995 based on this poem written by AI? A portal spins, the leap is made. Through worlds unknown, their paths are laid. Each twist of fate, a realm untold. Some bright with hope, some dark and cold. Together they roam, their bonds are tried. In endless search, dimensions collide.
Dude, I was into this show when it came out. I was so upset when it was canceled. The Sliders.
Hey-oh!
I was a fan of that show. I dug that show.
I was too. I remember one episode of this where Jerry O'Connell's character, he's doing this sort of, it was like mathletes where you were doing math and athletic competitions at the same time. And it was like you had a ball, but then you had to go through the numbers of pi. For some reason, that's one of the episodes that I remember.
I only remember the crappy one. It was like one of the first ones they did where they go to the era where dinosaurs are still around.
Yeah.
They had like a T-Rex, and it was probably the crappiest CGI T-Rex that you might have seen at the time.
Hold on, I gotta let my dog out. She's prancing around. She's gotta go back.
Who let the dog out? Who? Sliders. I'm pretty sure that show after the first season lost a lot of funding, and I think Jerry might have even left. I can't recall.
All right,
wasn't it
Sliders, ladies and gentlemen?
Wasn't Sliders? Didn't they like lose a lot of funding after the first season? Didn't Jerry leave the show?
He did. I'm not sure when, but it debuted March 22nd, 1995. It ran for 5 seasons, 88 episodes. It started on Fox and then moved over to Sci-Fi in 1998, and then it wrapped up everything on February 4th in the year 2000.
What was there was another show that came out, I think around that same time, where it was a space show, and it's like the humans were battling some sort of alien creature, and I can't remember what that show was on Fox, but it was pretty decent at the time, and it got canceled like after the second season. And now that just, I'm gonna have to look that up. That bothers me.
All right, you're gonna have to look that up. Dice Dude says, "Wow, wow to you, good sir." All right, 2 more, Frank. You ready?
Yo.
Can you guess what television show that debuted in 1995 I'm talking about here with this AI written poem? With sketches bold, the laughter's loud, a world of parody draws a crowd. Celebs and tropes are fair game here, their wit cut sharp, their humor clear. Madness reigns where chaos plays, through satire's lens, the show relays.
Is that whose line is it anyways? Oh, Mad TV.
Yeah! Yep, debuted October 14th, 1995. Ended up running for 14 seasons, 321 episodes, wrapping up on May 16th, 2009. I was not a fan of Mad TV.
Space and Beyond. Above and Beyond. That's what that show was in that came out in 95 as well. It was Space Above and Beyond.
Oh my God.
Found it.
So Mad TV, there would occasionally be a sketch on there, but I just was never really able to get into it.
I didn't watch a single episode of Mad TV. I was strictly SNL at that point.
No. All right, final one here, Frank. Can you guess this television show that debuted in 1995 based on this poem, or poem, written by AI, also known as artificial intelligence? In a home where dysfunction thrives, a talking bunny keeps dreams alive. Family antics and chaos clash, cynical humor sharp and brash. Through absurd tales, they find their way. In laughter's shadow, they choose to stay.
A talking bunny?
Yeah, this is an oddball one. I remember watching it from the 90s. It's kind of getting some legs on social media because I think a lot of people forgot just how crass the humor was, and none of it would fly today. Like none of it.
You got me.
It was kind of a cheap knockoff of Married with Children.
Again, you got me. I'm drawing a blank right now. Unhappier Ever After.
Unhappily.
Never,
good way to read.
Unhappily. I've never heard of that show.
Really?
Never.
Bobcat Goldthwait voices a rabbit. Like a stuffed bunny rabbit.
Oh, is that the one where like he started dating the
Nikki
girl
Cox.
who plays Nikki Cox in there?
Yeah.
It was like caused like this whole thing. Okay.
So the show Unhappily Ever After, it debuted on October 15th, 1995. It ran for 5 seasons with 100 episodes. It wrapped up on May 23rd, 1999. Yeah, so again, it's got the kid from Entourage right there,
Yep.
E. That is Reese from Malcolm in the Middle.
All right.
And yeah, go check out some clips of that show. When you're done here with the live stream, go head on over to the search on YouTube and look up clips from Unhappily Ever After because, oh my God,